comfortable seated position on your mat, either with your legs crossed or out in front of you, whatever feels comfortable for you this afternoon, sorry. And just close down your eyes. And start to pay attention to your breath. How does your breath feel as you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth? And keep breathing in long breaths through your nose and out again through your mouth, with your eyes closed down. And our practice today will be focused around the full moon, which is upon us today, the full moon in Libra. And it's a time for looking at the relationships around us, friends, family, lovers, and assessing whether they are balanced. And full moons can be a time to start new, start afresh, and let anything go that hasn't been serving you over the past 28 days. So if there's any grudges or hard feelings that you might have been holding over someone, or in any relationship that you're holding, maybe today's the time to let that go. And if you've been wanting to reach out to someone that you haven't spoke to in a while, rekindle that old friendship, maybe today and this week is a time to reach out to that person. And reestablish that relationship. And so our practice today will help us to find that balance within our relationship, within ourselves. And help us to be more confident and aware of any relationships that might need a little bit of work or rekindling. Take one more deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top. And breathe out through your mouth, letting go of everything that doesn't serve you. And try and keep with this breath throughout the whole practice this afternoon. If you feel yourself holding your breath, or holding it within you, just remember to come back, breathe in for 4 counts. And breathe out for 4 counts. And it will really calm and center you. When you feel ready, we're going to start in a lying down position on your mat. So if you want to come down onto your back, and bring your right knee into your chest. Bring your left elbow towards your right knee and rise up almost in a bicycle. Inhale and exhale, bring your legs back down long in front of you. Inhale, bring your left knee into your chest and your right elbow to meet your left knee. Exhale, bring it long out in front of you. Inhale, your right knee to your chest. Your left elbow towards your right knee. And bring it long out in front of you. And your left knee to your chest. Breathe in and hold here. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. You might want to rock side to side. Backwards and forwards. Bring your legs out long in front of you and your arms out above you. Just a good morning stretch. Stretch through your fingertips, through your toes. One long line of energy. Inhale. And exhale, bring your knees to your chest once again. And slowly rock to come up to a seated position. From here, inhale your arms above you. And exhale, plant them on the mat. Bring your chest towards the mat for a seated forward fold. Inhale, rise back up, rolling your spine. And exhale, roll your spine back down towards the mat for a seated forward fold. Bring your head with you as your spine rolls. Inhale, rise back up, rolling your spine, almost creating an S shape as you exhale back down towards the mat. Inhale, rise up. Keep moving through a couple more of these in your own time, rolling your spine towards mat. And back up to seated. And the next time you've inhaled forward, just hold this for a moment. Inhale and exhale to soften. Inhale and exhale to soften further towards the mat. Keeping with your breath, how can you stay in love with every breath?
I gave you right to die and you gave me games, love, figures.
And inhale, rise back up. Bring your hands behind you, your fingertips facing forward. And lift your chest towards the sky, creating a slight back bend. Keep your gaze forward. How does your breath feel in this position? Does it feel harder to breathe into your belly? Deep breath in through your nose and let it all out through your mouth. And inhale, bring yourself back to neutral. Put hands into the air, reach through your fingertips. And exhale, roll over to tabletop position. Rolling over your calves or bringing your feet out beside you. From here, keep your wrists in line with your shoulders and your knees in line with your hips. So you're one long line of energy. And from here, we're moving through some cat-cow position. So inhale, Arch your spine, look towards the sky. And exhale, round your spine, look towards the mat. Inhale, round your spine, look towards the sky. Cow pose. And exhale, look towards the mat. Cat pose. From here, just move through a few more rounds in your own time, moving your body in whichever way feels good for you today. The spine needs to be moved in every direction in order for it to be warmed up. So see if you can really get into every part of your spine and your vertebrae. Feel the juiciness release in your body. I want to close your eyes down, draw your senses within. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing or thinking. This is your practice and your time on your mat. Your time to romance your body. Bring your spine back to neutral. Walk your hands out in front of you for puppy pose. Bring your chest towards the mat. And if it's accessible for you, place your forehead on the mat to relax your head down. You may even want to give your forehead a little massage, rock side to side. Again, drawing all of your senses within. Not worrying about what you have to do this week or later today. Nowhere else that you need to be that isn't right here in this moment. And inhale, rise back up to tabletop. Lower your chest towards the ground. And scoop through for baby cobra, bringing your thighs planted on the mat. Inhale here, rise up slightly. And exhale, lower yourself towards the mat, bringing your ear to the ground. Inhale, rise. Keeping your hands by either side of your chest and your elbows tucked in towards your back. And exhale, lower your opposite ear towards the mat. Inhale to rise once again. This time, place both of your forearms on the mat for Sphinx pose. Keep your gaze forward. Spread your fingers wide and press them into the mat. Press the tops of your feet into the mat to engage through your legs. Close down your eyes. Sphinx is a great pose for strengthening the spine, strengthening the muscles in your back, as well as opening your heart and your chest. And lower back towards the mat. Bring your hands back beside either side of your chest. And press up to tabletop. Bring your hips towards your heels against a puppy pose. Walking your hands out and bringing your forehead to the mat. Stretch through your fingertips here, reaching to the top of the mat. Breathe in and exhale, soften. Inhale back up, walk your hands back towards you. Bring your toes together and your hips towards your feet for child's pose. Again, bring your chest lower towards the ground and your head, your forehead to the mat if that's accessible for you. Just preparing ourselves, warming our shoulders up. And from here, I invite you to set an intention for the rest of your practice and for the week. You can move through your own intention, or the intention of our class today, we'll be repeating, I have an abundance of love all around me. I have an abundance of love all around me. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, roll your spine up. Touch your toes, send your hips towards the sky for downward facing dog. From here, walk your heels down. Just warming up and stretching through your hamstrings and your calves in your first downward facing dog of the day. Maybe it's not the day, but it's definitely of the class. Maybe you've already done a yoga practice today. And see if you can really pull up through your hips, taking the weight out of your hands and evenly distributing it between your feet and your 10 fingers. So you're not falling into your hands, but pushing up through your hips, finding that balance. And inhale, come onto your tippy toes. Roll your spine forward. Bend your knees. And exhale, roll back to the sky, to downward dog. Try and not let your knees touch the mat, but always an option to drop your knees if your arms get a little tired. And roll through those body rolls a couple more times. Inhaling, coming forward to plank. Exhale, bring your knees slightly above the mat and send your hips towards the back. Really grounding your spine as you come towards plank. And pushing back through your hips to come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward one more time to high plank. Option to drop your knees here. And lower your chest towards the mat. Come flat on the mat. Let all of your body parts touch the mat. And inhale, bring your left foot towards your left glute. And hold on to your ankle, keeping your gaze forward so you're not straining your neck. An option to stay here, or option to bring your right foot to your right glute and hold on to your right ankle with your right hand. This is frog pose, Bakkanasana. You might want to slightly lift your chest off the mat. And this pose is another amazing heart opener. Opening our hearts up to self-love and intimacy and compassion. In all of our relationships with ourselves and with those around us. And lower your feet back towards the mat. Bring your hands by either side of your chest. Group up to baby cobra. Inhale. And exhale, touch your toes, send your hips back for downward facing dog. Let your head hang low here, below your heart. Notice how it feels to have your head at a lower point than your heart. You feel blood rushing towards your head. Just take a mental note of this. And inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet for forward fold. Letting your head hang low. Option to hold on to each of your elbows and sway side to side. Really let your head hang low here. Try not to hold it up, looking around you or thinking of other things. Just let it fall loose and imagine any tension or any bad energy that hasn't been serving you just falling right off the top of your head into the ground, be composted away and out of your life. Option to hold onto your elbows behind your legs if that's acceptable to you. And create a slight bend in your knees so you can bring your chest all the way towards, even further towards your legs. Yoga is not about having straight legs and being able to touch the ground. It's about your body and how your body feels in the position. So bend your knees as much as you need to. And from here, bring your hands back to your shins or your ankles, wherever feels good. Inhale, roll your spine, halfway lift. And exhale, roll your spine back down, forward fold. And I want you to really pay attention to how your spine feels throughout this class, rolling it as you move through the transitions. So inhale, roll your spine upward, letting your hands hang low. Vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly rising up. Letting your head being the last thing to come up. For Tadasana, mountain pose. Here, root all your 10 toes into the ground. So lift your toes up off the mat, give them a little wiggle, and plant them on the ground, spread out, really pressing into the earth. Engage through your legs, touch your tailbone, spread your fingers wide, relax your shoulders. Close down your eyes. Again, feeling that balance, that line of energy from the top of your head to your feet. Inhale, raise your hands up above you. And bring them out by either side for cactus arms. Lean slightly backwards for a small back bend. Opening through your heart, keeping your gaze forward. Hold here for a moment if you can. And exhale back to neutral, reaching your arms towards the sky. And bring your hands back down to cactus pose. Moving again to that small back bend. Opening up your heart through your shoulders. Inhale, rise back up to standing. And exhale, forward fold. Again, bringing your chest towards your thighs. Making that bend in your knees if that feels good for you. Interlace your fingers behind your back and let your arms fall forward as far as they will go. Again, letting all the tension fall out of your head, off the top of your head. Really letting everything go. Remember to breathe, inhale, exhale. Inhale, bring your hands back towards, hanging down in front of you. Exhale and inhale, rise to standing, rolling your spine upward. Inhale, lift your arms to the sky, slight back bend. And exhale, roll your spine again, forward towards the mat. Inhale, roll upward, remembering to keep with the spine rolls that we mentioned before. Roll your shoulders back and down your spine. Inhale your shoulders to your ears. Lift them up, up, up. And exhale, roll your shoulders down your spine. One more time, inhale your shoulders to your ears. And exhale, roll them down your spine. Inhale your arms to the air. Open your chest for a slight back bend. Receiving compassion, giving love. And exhale, roll your spine forward towards the mat. One more time, inhale, rolling your spine upward. Lift your left leg up towards your chest. Make a basket with your hands around your knee. And step forward to the front of the mat. So you're in almost like a high lunge position. Keeping your knee above your ankle and pushing through your right knee. Bring your hands, your palms to your heart center. Place your right heel on the mat, so it's parallel to the mat. And inhale, open up to Warrior Two. Keeping your knee above your ankle here. Gazing over each of your fingertips. Are they in line with one another? Do you have that balance? And inhale, straighten your left leg. Turn both of your feet in so they're parallel to one another. Inhale, rise up to the five-pointed star. Bring your heels in slightly, so your feet are at a 45-degree angle. And exhale, lower to Goddess pose. Bringing your hips down towards the mat. And here you might want to move through your hips, swaying side to side. You may even want to open up your arms, open your chest and look just towards the ceiling, creating also a slight back bend as you move through your hips. Bring your palms back to neutral, rise back to standing. Bring your toes parallel to one another once again, so your feet are opposite one another. Inhale, raise your arms, and exhale, forward fold over your legs. Option to hold onto your ankles or the mat, wherever feels good for you. And again here, really let your head fall. Let any tension fall out of your neck. If you're holding onto your jaw or holding your breath, let that all go. Inhale and exhale, soften. I have an abundance of love all around me. And I want you to repeat that wherever you are. I have an abundance of love all around me. And inhale, rolling your spine up once again, as we have been doing throughout the class. Bring your left toes towards the front of the mat, moving back to Warrior Two. And bring your body to face the front of the mat, Warrior One. And with a little momentum, step towards the front of the mat for Tadasana. Inhale here. And exhale, forward fold. Step back to plank. Inhale here. And exhale, lower your body towards the mat. Inhale, scoop through for Cobra. Again, remembering to keep your elbows tucked in towards your back. Tuck your toes. Send your hips back for child's pose. You might want to bring your knees a little further out towards the sides of the mat. Inhale and exhale, soften towards the ground. Stay here for a moment. Breathe, trust, and let go. And see what happens when you just trust and let go. Inhale, rise back up to tabletop. Touch your toes, send your hips towards the sky for downward dog. And again, walk your hands towards your feet for forward fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, keeping that spine rolling through. Your arms to sky. And out to cactus arms. Again, creating that little back bend. Inhale, rise back up to neutral. Reaching through your fingertips. And exhale, rolling your spine. Forward fold. Again, bringing your hands up behind you, interlacing your fingers behind your back. Letting your head fall. And your arms fall out towards the mat. Letting go of anything, letting it fall away, and trusting the process. Bring your hands back towards your legs. Inhale, rise to standing, rolling the spine. Exhale, bring your arms to the sky. And this time, bring your right arm underneath your left arm, almost wrapping around each other for eagle arms. If you can, bring your palms to meet. Slightly lean back for a small back bend. And your elbows slightly higher so your hands come towards your head. Again, opening through your heart to your chest. Exhale, lower, forward fold, keeping your arms in this position. Inhale, rise back up, keeping your arms still in eagle arms. And exhale, letting them fall out beside you. Keeping your fingers wide. Breathe in here, inhale. Bring your knee towards your chest. Make a basket with your hands around your knee. Pull it towards you. And exhale, plant your foot long, moving into that high lunge that we were in on the opposite side. Again, making sure your knee is above your ankle. And engaging through your back leg. So imagine someone's pushing against your left foot and you're trying to resist their push. Inhale your arms up to the sky. And exhale, plant your right heel on the ground. And your arms out in front of you, long for warrior two. Again, peek over both your fingertips. See if they're in line with one another. And finding that balance of weight between your right and your left side. Your masculine and your feminine side. The full moon is a lunar energy. Lunar energy relates to our feminine side. So see how you can let your feminine side really flourish. Not just today, but into the week and into this month. Giving more love to strangers and more people around you. And most especially giving love to yourself. Hold for one more moment here. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Bring your right toes in so they're adjacent to one another. Your toes in, your heels in, so your toes are 45 degrees. Move down to goddess pose from here. See if you can get your thighs almost parallel to the mat, really sinking deep into your hips. And again, move through your hips here, swaying backwards and forwards. You might want to open out your arms, getting that small little back bend again. Back to neutral, rise back up, inhale. Your hands towards your heart center, your feet parallel to one another. Inhale and exhale, forward fold over your legs. Option to hold onto your ankles. Let your head hang low. Relax your shoulders. Keeping with your breath. I have an abundance of love all around me. Again, feel how it feels to have your head below your heart. Maybe you can feel a rush of blood towards your head. Notice how it feels in your body. Inhale, roll your spine, rise up to standing. Bring your right toes towards the front of the mat. Move back to Warrior Two. Gazing over your front fingertips. And twist your body towards the front of the mat for Warrior One. Inhale your arms to the sky. And exhale, plant them on the ground. Stepping back to plank. Breathe in, hold here for a moment. And exhale, lower your body towards the mat. Always option to drop your knees here. Inhale, scoop through for baby cobra. And exhale, lower your chest towards the mat. From here, bring both of your feet towards your glutes once again. Hold on to the outsides of your ankles for bow pose. You may want to just hold on to one foot if this feels too strenuous or uncomfortable. And slightly lift your chest off the mat. Just slowly, not too high. Flex your feet. Keep your gaze forward. Open your heart. To love and to be loved. Breathe in. Can you lift your thighs a little off the mat? And exhale, let it all go, bringing your ear to the ground. And inhale, press up, bring your hands beside your chest. Bring your hips upwards to tabletop. And send your hips towards your feet. This time bring your hands around your body so you're giving yourself a hug. And hold onto your feet, bringing your forehead towards the mat. Rabbit pose. This is a nice counter pose for that back bend that we just worked through, opening up our heart. Now forward fold into ourselves, giving ourselves that energy that we have just awoken. When you feel ready, inhale up onto your knees. Bring your hands into the sky, reach through your fingertips. And plant your hands on your lower back with your fingertips pointing upwards. Inhale, bring your chest towards the ceiling, gaze forward. Stay here, or option, you can touch your toes here and bring both of your hands to your feet. Or if you can go even further, plant both of your shins on the ground and bring your hands to your feet here. Listen to your body. Remember, your time on your mat is your time to romance your body, nobody else's. And inhale, rise back up. from wherever you are to neutral. And exhale, plant your hips to your heels, bring your forehead to the mat for rabbit pose. Again, holding into your feet, giving yourself big hug. Camel pose strengthens the entire front of your body while also strengthening your back muscles. And opening up your heart. So this counter pose is really important to allow that strengthening to settle within our body. And from here, it feels really nice to roll your spine up as we have been doing. So don't just come straight seated, roll your spine up and arrive sitting on your heels. Inhale, rise up, plant your hands on the mat for tabletop position. Touch your toes, send your hips towards the sky, downward facing dog. Then again, walk your hands back towards your feet for forward fold. Inhale, roll your spine, rise to standing. Bring your hands to the sky. Create that little back bend. This time, bring your left arm above your right arm. I think that's the opposite way we did last time. If it's different, just move through your practice. Balancing out each side. Our masculine and our feminine, solar and the lunar. Lift your elbows up slightly. More little back bend. And exhale, forward fold over your legs. Inhale, rise to standing. Rolling your spine, breathing with your movement. Release your hands, your palms to your heart center for prayer pose. Anjali Manasana. Slowly heel toe your feet towards the sides of the mat. Bring your hips towards the ground for Malasana, yogi squat. In front so you can see. So from here, you want your spine to be lengthened. Inhale, rise through, sending energy through the crown of your head. And Malasana is another great pose for letting go. Letting anything that you might feel is holding you back from this month. Let it go into the ground. And from here, plant your hands on the mat. Going to be playing just with a small arm inversion. Please move into child's pose or stay in Malasana if that feels good for you. Or option to bring your hands to the mat. Bring your knees behind your triceps. Come up onto your toes and just play with bringing the weight into your hands and lowering your forehead to the mat. Again, feeling that sensation of your head being below your heart. And if crow is in your practice, please feel free to play with crow. You might want to just lift one leg off the mat and the other foot off the mat. Arm inversions are all about the strength in your shoulders, so it can be really nice just to play with leaning forward and bringing that weight into your hands to prepare yourself. Amazing, Georgie. Yeah, you're flying. Yeah, so good. And when you're finished playing, bring your hands to the mat behind you and your legs out long in front of you. Come to a seated position. Inhale your arms up to the air. And your feet slightly off the mat. Option to bring your knees in to both toes. And slowly lower your back towards the mat to come to lying down. And from here, going to be doing a couple more heart opening asanas. So to prepare for fish pose, you might want to have a look first. Bring the crown of your head towards the mat and bring your forearms propping you up to push your chest towards the ceiling. Looking towards the back of the mat and keeping the weight out of your head by holding and propping yourself up on your forearms. Amazing. Fish pose is the medicine of opening up your heart and your throat chakra. There's something that you've been afraid of saying or worried about saying. This pose can help you get those words out. Tell that person how you feel. And lower your back towards the mat, slowly walking your forearm forward and lowering your upper back, coming down, back to lying down. Inhale here and exhale. Inhale, bring both of your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a hug. Reach through between your knees and hold on to the outsides of your feet for happy baby. And here, this is your practice, so you might want to roll back side to side. Reach one leg up, the other leg. Just do what feels good for your body. You might want to bring your soles of your feet together, or just keep giving yourself a hug, feeling that love and energy you've just built during the practice. And from here, lower your feet slowly back towards the mat, like you're moving through honey. Plant your feet on the ground and take up space on your mat.
Sunrise, sunrise, looks like morning in your
Shavasana.
but the clock's held 9:15 full hours. Sunrise,
Really let all of your body sink into the mat.
couldn't tempt us if it tried, 'cause the afternoon's already come and gone. And I said, ooh,
Take a deep inhale and exhale. Let it all out through your mouth.
to you. Surprise, surprise, couldn't find it.
Relax all of your body.
But I'm sure it's written all over.
Let your feet sink into the mat.
Surprise,
Let your legs relax.
never something I could hide. When I see we made it through another day,
Your hips relax.
then I say, ooh,
Your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your fingertips.
to you.
Your jaw. Let any tension fall away from your cheekbones. Bring your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Relax your forehead.
Now the night will throw its cover down. On me.
And you are not your age, nor the size of the clothes you wear.
Ooh, and if
You are not the weight or the color of your hair.
it's the only way
You are not your name or the dimples in your cheek.
me back.
You are all the books you read and all the words you speak. You are your croaky voice and the smiles you try to hide. You're the sweetness in your laughter and every tear you've cried.
To you.
You're the songs you sing so loudly when you know you're all alone. You're the places that you've been to and the ones you call home. You're the things that you believe in and the people that you love. You're the photos in your bedroom and the future you dream of. You're made of so much beauty, but it seems that you forgot when you decided that you were defined by all the things you're not. And when you feel ready, slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your feet and your fingertips. You might want to take a good morning stretch out above you. Stretching through that by your body, feeling that line of energy, that balance. And when you feel ready, roll over onto whichever side is calling to you, making a pillow with your bicep. Just acknowledge all of the feelings that came up during this practice. And see how you can take them off the mat and into the rest of your day and the week and the month. Coming back to our intention, I would love you to repeat whenever you are feeling a little low or depleted. I have an abundance of love all around me. And when you feel ready, rise up to seated, lifting yourself up with your top hand. Your hands, your knees, or your heart. Close down your eyes. Take one big last inhale. And exhale. Let it all out. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can message me or put it in the chat or however you feel comfortable. And it's just a donation